one of those things that really hold us back is our minds. Our mind can be our biggest enemy or it can be our biggest friend. It's something that helps us achieve things that we thought would never be possible. But it's also something that holds us back from doing something which is possible, which is something right in front of us, right? A lot of problems will go away if we just learn how to control our mind. So in this video, you will be learning about 4 techniques, 4 powerful, simple techniques that you can use to control your mind. Hello guys, this is Abhishek and welcome to Models of Excellence, where we tell you tools, strategies and techniques to help you lead an excellent life. The first tip to control your mind is to play with your mental canvas. Did you know that there is something called as your mental canvas? There's a canvas in your mind. Now, whenever you're overthinking, observe this. Next time you're overthinking or you're not feeling good or you're feeling very excited, there are images that are playing around in your mind. You're either thinking about the past or the future, positively or negatively. But there are some sort of a movie or some scene playing around, like something that might happen, something that has already happened. That event is playing around in your mind, like a small movie, like a movie, right? And that movie is playing on something called as a canvas. If you can control what is on your canvas, then you can control your thoughts. If you can control your thoughts, then you can control how you feel. So how do you do it? One way to use this is, let's say you're getting distracted. You're thinking about something, but you should be doing something else. Right? Thinking about doing something else. So in your mind, there's an image of you doing. For example, if you want to be distracted, go watch Netflix. You have in your mind this scenario playing around where where you're watching Netflix, you're enjoying, but you should be doing something else. All you have to do is imagine a duster in your hand, rub it, just rub it clean, and after that, imagine something that will help you do the job. It could be you imagining yourself doing the work and feeling good about it. So that's one way to use it. The other way to use it is to play around with the size of the image or the color of the image or the video. So what you can do is, I'll be going in deep about this in another video. If I would have done it at this point, you can click somewhere here and you can check it out. But with that said, if there's an event that's really affecting you, something negative, you can minimize it, make it into the small picture that looks like on the size of a tic tac or something like that. Other thing that you can do is remove the color, make the whole scene black and white. The other thing that you can do is, let's say if it's a negative event, if it's people telling you something or something happening, you can change the voices in that canvas from serious voice to a very funny voice, like very light-hearted voice, something like this. Everybody talking like this, somebody scolding you like this, and all of a sudden, whatever that was very serious in front of you isn't so serious anymore. It'll make you feel a lot more calm, relaxed and focused, and you'll be in a lot more control. Tip number 2 is mindfulness. Now, I'm not just talking about meditation, but let me ask you this. What is mindfulness? If you Google it, you'll find some sort of a definition which says mindfulness is paying attention to something, being aware of something, or focusing on something. Now, how can this help you control your mind? One thing, when I was reading works of Swami Vivekananda, who was a yogi, right? Who was a very famous Indian yogi. He took yoga and Indian spirituality to the West. Now he said something. The best way, you do your best work when you are calm, when you're relaxed. You do your best thinking when you're very relaxed. Now when you're mindful about something, when you're focused on something, it could be a breathing. It could be some sound in the background right now. It could be something in front of you, a book, a wall. If you're mindful about it, your mind is focused. Instead of your mind wandering everywhere, this wandering is decreased. You're focused on very few things. And once that happens, your breathing begins to relax. You begin to relax. And as soon as you relax, you get in a calm state of mind where you can think a lot more efficiently. There are other techniques that you can use to become calm too, using your body language, called power posing. You can go check that out on Google. Amazing concept. or even we have a video on it, so you can click somewhere here to go check that video out. The third tip to control your mind is called the leap of faith. So I used to play this game called Assassin's Creed very long back, and in that there's this move called leap of faith. It stands on the top of the building. If you played Assassin's Creed, you would know what I'm talking about. He stands on top of the building. There is some sort of a dry grass down on the floor. He jumps from the building and he lands there. Now, why does this matter to you? How will this help you control your mind? Leap of faith is something where you believe that you'll survive, or you'll believe that things will work out and you take a jump. It's something that you do when all the pieces are not seen, when you don't have all the information. For example, let's say you want to cook. You don't know how it will turn out, especially if you're a beginner. It might work out or it might not. It might turn out to be edible or not. So when you don't know, jumping in and taking action is called leap of faith. Now you shouldn't get into everything without thinking. It's bad for you. Some things, if you get into, like for example, if you have to cook for 20-30 people and you don't know how to cook, and then taking a leap of faith is dangerous. It's bad for them. It's waste of time. It's just not good, especially if it's a festival or something like that. But there are certain times in life where you don't have to think about everything. Like for example, if there's exams coming up, you have to study, then sit down and study. Don't negotiate with your mind telling, let me study tomorrow. Let me do it day after tomorrow. If you have some work that you have to do, that you have to get completed for your company, in your office or something like that, then get down and do it. Take a leap of faith. Don't try to look for every piece. Just jump in and start, do it. Motivation will come, everything else will come. Don't depend on motivation, but build a habit of taking a leap of faith for certain things, which you are more likely to procrastinate on. The fourth tip is examine and challenge beliefs. So there is something called as cognitive distortion. Think of it this way. You're wearing a glass, and if it's very clear, you can see what's in front of you. All of a sudden, the dust starts to come in and you don't clean up. Your vision isn't clear anymore. You are seeing, but it's not clear. What looks like something may not actually look like it. Right? It looks dirty or it looks dusty. It looks like there's a filter on it. And for a lot of us, this is what happens in life, right? We look at things, we look at events, but we look at it with this filter. And because of that, what it does is it makes you not look at things clearly. Like if there's some fluid, right? If the fluid is clear, if you're looking at it through your glass, it's a clear water. But if you're looking at it through a glass which is dirty, this water will also look dirty, which is not true. One example of this is this way. People generalize, right? For example, they say all men only think about one thing, or women are bad drivers, men are bad cooks, or something like that, right? That is generalizing. That is one of the cognitive distortion. That's not true. If you make decision based on that, you don't get good results, right? If you're like, men are not good cooks, I'm not going to let them cook. It's not good. It's not true, right? So similarly, you have to examine and challenge any beliefs that you have. We tend to take on beliefs from movies, TV shows, people around us, society, and sometimes it may not be true. So challenging and examining beliefs will help you gain much more control over your mind. So for cognitive distortions, I have done a video. If I would have published it, you can see here. You can click somewhere here and then it will take you to that video. That's it, guys. These 4 tips is something that you could use. If you felt like you learned something that you could apply, then leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and not only that, comment below which tip was your favorite out of 4 tips. Which tip do you think that you would apply? That said, this is Abhishek signing off, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.